be honest, that was boring. Okay, I get it. WWDC may be a developer conference, but at least they still hold an event to give the non-developers, such as myself, a preview of what the next gen OSs look like. Starting with iOS and FaceTime, well, we have a much better FaceTime. Now that we have grid view, better noise isolation, as well as, hey, FaceTime links, so you can allow Android and... Whoa, Apple, you're letting the plebeians gain access to FaceTime? Oh no. What happened? Is Apple giving plebeians access to the superior stuff? What? I can't handle it! Anywho, other features include screen sharing, finally, what took so long, and SharePlay, which allows you to listen to music with other people as well as watch movies. You know what? I actually think that'll be very handy because I started watching a movie with my cousin and we never got to finish it. Now I can just call her up on FaceTime and we can finish it. Messages also got revamped with a reorganization of when photos are sent to you. They are now sent in basically this card stack that you swipe through versus having to scroll down a wall of pictures. Ooh, yeah, that was a mess. The new shared with you section in so many other apps basically allows you to find things that you save for later while you were too busy doing other stuff. Speaking of being busy doing other stuff, Apple's new Focus. Now that Focus is a thing, well, now you can basically turn on Do Not Disturb settings to allow you to focus on doing work, home, and sleep, and maybe a few other random things. And while these focus features may silence some of your other contacts when they try to message you, there is a way they can break through if it is a dire emergency. But don't worry, if you don't want to be disturbed by them, they'll know. They'll get a pop-up in their messages saying that you're a little busy right now. There are also many more health features that are added now, like steady walking balance. Wow, so Apple's gonna let you know if you are at risk of falling. Whoa! You could have alerted me, iPhone. Oh, right, of course. I don't have an Apple Watch. Darn it. Respiratory breathing and mindfulness is another thing they added, giving you a reminder when it thinks you're frustrated. Think of a happy thought. Ah, yes. Apple, the iPhone is selling much better than ever. The Mac is so amazing, and Apple Macs are just getting so much better than the competition. And Intel, their monopolistic behavior is finally coming to an end. Oh wait. What was I doing? And then one more feature is, well, basically you can now share your health data better with other family members. If you have an elderly parent who does have some health issues and would like to keep track of it, well, now you can select the health data that you'd like to share. And because there are parents out there who freak out about if Jimmy's bleeding or not, you can also monitor your children as well. iCloud got some updates, but to be honest, they were not updates that I was really excited for. It got some VPN-like features, such as data encrypting. What? Wasn't that already a thing? And then a new feature, Hide My Email, which basically creates a bogus email that pretty much forwards all the emails that get sent to it to your actual email. Maps also got a big redesign with new 3D effects and a new night mode, as well as, well, enhanced so many things. Two more apps I have to mention. Radar is finally coming to weather. Why has the iPhone weather app gone without Radar for this long? And then Safari got a redesign, and there's going to be more to talk about with this redesign in just a bit. But basically, the address bar has now moved from the top to the bottom. To be honest, it's kind of like using an iPhone, just it's web browser all the time. They basically turned the address bar into the gesture bar that you typically see at the bottom of your apps on your gesture-based iPhones. This is assuming you have a gesture-based iPhone. If you have an iPhone 6S or an iPhone 8 or an iPhone SE, hey, you can finally try out the gestures using Safari. It's pretty much like using an iPhone. Literally, it's that easy to get used to. All right, that's all I got for iOS. Let's move on to iPadOS. Would that be a good idea? While most people were so excited because there were so many things that the iPad Pro especially needed fixing with, we got none of those things. Instead, we got widgets, we got the app library. Weren't those things already baked into iOS in iOS 14? Funny how that's a bit late. A new quick note feature that I still have yet to figure out how to even activate in the first place. And they revised the way you do multitasking. Instead of now having to swipe up on the dock and drag an app from the dock to activate multitasking, well, now they made it simpler by adding 3 dots that you tap at the top, and then you click buttons to turn on split view. And to be honest, that's pretty much it. This is why a lot of people are upset about iPadOS. Anywho, moving on to watchOS. And what did watchOS gain? Well, another workout trainer in the Fitness Plus app, better breathing and mindfulness stuff. It's really minor, to be honest. One last feature about it though before we move on. There is a new watch face that basically allows you to take advantage of portrait mode. Basically, when you use portrait mode, normally you'd get a bokeh effect in the background. Well, now portrait mode is going to make use of that bokeh effect and basically kind of green screen, or in my case, blue screen. Editor me, turn off the blue screen. See? Blue screen. And it'll basically display the time even behind your head, which, to be honest, I think is pretty cool. Ahem. Editor, turn the blue screen back on. Oh, don't tell me it stopped working. One sec. I'm sure it's this cord here. Oh. Is it this one? Ooh, that's a shocker! Yeah, do not stick your finger in an outlet. Ouch. Oh, hey, it came back on. Did we get HomeOS? No, we didn't get HomeOS. No updates for TV or HomePod or practically anything other than Siri's now available on third-party devices. Wait a minute. What? So, first FaceTime, and now Siri's on other plebeian devices? I'm really unstable right now. I might have to make use of that health feature of falling because it's possible I might fall again. I cannot take this. And then last, but obviously never least, my favorite operating system, macOS. Except it was pretty boring this time. But then again, that was kind of to be expected. Last year's update was so major that pretty much it's now time to start refining it, which macOS Monterey really does. I mean, well, unless you're using the beta version, which of course it's not refined just yet. But what does it bring? Well, shortcuts, a redesigned Safari that also looks the same on the iPad Pro, where basically the address bar is moved to the physical tab itself. And then the last new Safari feature is the tab groups, which are literally what they sound like, groups of tabs. And then the last big macOS thing, universal control. You can do this with, well, they've demonstrated 2 Macs and an iPad. I have no idea what other types of devices you can use, but basically you can now use 1 keyboard and 1 mouse with all of your different Macs and iPads together. It's as simple as putting them right next to each other and then swiping your mouse over as if you're swiping it over to another monitor. That's pretty neat. That is so cool. I can hardly wait to get macOS Monterey installed. Oh, wait a minute. I don't think I can install it on my iMac because the last thing I'm going to talk about is support. So for iPhones and iOS 15, well, funny enough, believe it or not, Apple just broke their record in terms of device support in terms of iOS. The iPhone 6S, as old as it is still supported, which means it's going to be the first iPhone to get 7 years of software support. Okay, technically it's going to share that title with the iPhone SE because the support list is labeled as every iPhone that can run iOS 14 is going to run iOS 15. Yeah, I guess the iPhone 6S is sharing the victory with the iPhone SE, the original one. So, okay, well, still, 7 years of support. That is nuts. iPadOS is getting even crazier. We're at 8 years of support now with the iPad Air 2 being the oldest of the bunch. iPad Air 2, 5th gen iPad, all of the iPad Pros still, and I do not remember where the cutoff for the iPad Mini is. Apple Watch, I'll be honest, I didn't even check. Nothing new for tvOS and all that, so yeah, you can forget about that. And then macOS. Big changes here, and unfortunately, usually Apple does every few years drop a pretty significant portion of Macs. And so in terms of MacBooks, you have to have 2015 MacBook Pro which is the one with the Force Touch trackpad or newer. If you have the diving board design, forget it. Don't even bother. iMacs, late 2015, so you have the early 2015. Ooh, you didn't make the cut. The trash can Mac Pro still has macOS support, to my surprise, despite that thing is from 2013. The iMac Pro from 2017 is also still supported, and the Mac Mini 2014 and later, just like last year. So those are pretty much the devices that will be getting the new software, and that's pretty much what the new software is. Exciting, right? To be honest, for macOS, yeah, it's kind of expected. We didn't really need a huge upgrade because we already got a huge upgrade with Big Sur. But iOS, some iOS apps did get major improvement, like FaceTime. iPadOS completely sucked for a lot of people. It sucked for me in a few ways as well. And the watch, well, watch is the watch. So yeah, that's pretty much WWDC wrapped up for the average consumer. There are other developer announcements, but to be honest, this is supposed to be for the consumer, not other developers. If you're a developer, you're probably already attending the conference anyways, so don't ask me for what was announced in terms of the developer stuff. Alrighty, thank you for watching. Do me a favor and interact with the stuff below. My name is DeWolf, and I'll see you next time.